Make sure you go and check out CarMarshal.com. Over 100,000 new and used cars from dealers. You shop, you see what you like, negotiate prices, and get you a very good deal. Make sure you go to teesprings.com/unofficialJDB merch to go and purchase my exclusive tees and hoodies. What's going on, fam? It's Jada Black here. I want to talk about an interesting story about now free agent NBA player Thabo Sefolosha. His wife is basically keeping him from being able to make money by limiting his options as far as the teams that he could go play for. Now, there's a good chance he could be re-signed by the Jazz, even though the Jazz are going through a bit of a makeover. But still, he could still, have a chance to re-sign with them. But his wife is adamant, okay, that he not re-sign with the Utah Jazz because the state itself is too conservative, quote unquote, for her. She wants him to play in New York or LA, So this article is according to Clutch Sports. It says last season, veteran wing Thabo Sefolosha played his second season for the Utah Jazz. Apparently, he will not resign with the team in free agency because of his wife's request. Per Roman Sashapi, translated by Google, Sefolosha's wife did not enjoy her time in Salt Lake City due to political reasons. Sefolosha's wife had suffered in the conservative state in which rigid moral concepts are widespread and could not develop during her career. She has always put her own interests and needs behind her and made great sacrifices, says Sefolosha. Now she has spoken out against another engagement in Salt Lake City compared to the past 2 years, when Sefolosha had to make similar decisions about his sporting future. He now involves the family much more in planning. Let me just say this. You are a wife. So how is being in a conservative state hindering you from living your life? Is it because the nightlife isn't what you want? Like, I don't understand. You don't have to live in Utah just so he can play there. There are plenty of other athletes who live in one state and play in another. You don't have to live in that particular state. Okay, you can have an off-season home here. During the season, he goes there. I mean, I know the travel is crazy. I know you want to be close to him. But what I don't get is, how is Utah too conservative? This is the first time. The reason why I'm doing this video is because this is the first time I've ever heard this. I've never heard of Utah being too conservative. I've never heard this. This to me seems like she wants to control his career. It's the same thing with Melo and Lala. Behind the scenes, Lala was pulling strings to get Melo to move to New York to benefit her career. This seems to be the same thing with me, with going on with Thabo and his wife. Now, I don't know how long they've been married, but she looks kind of young. So maybe they haven't been married that long. I don't know. But I'm telling you, even though these particular women are married, they still don't have the morality of what a wife should be. I think what happened was she wanted to get married to an athlete. She wants to live single while being married. She wants to be able to go party. She probably wants to be able to, do her own thing. But she wants to do it in the LA or New York. But because of political reasons, she don't want to be there. It's because she's a super liberal. You know what I'm saying? If she's making great sacrifices for his career, then why can't you sacrifice another year for him to prove himself on, as far as getting more minutes with the Jazz, so that another team in a city that you actually want to play in may want him? You're holding up his money because he's still a free agent right now. He hasn't gotten signed. The top tier guys have gotten signed. Then you got the second tier guys who are getting signed now. The third tier guys are also getting signed up. He hasn't gotten signed yet because teams are going to see him as a problem because of you. While it may restrict his choices in free agency, the Swiss national is doing the right thing by taking his wife's opinion into consideration. If she isn't comfortable, it doesn't make sense to stay in Utah, especially this late in his career. Unfortunately for Sefolosha, it looks like the Jazz will be a premier landing spot right now. The team rebuilt in the offseason and added two big names in Mike Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic. Hopefully, Sefolosha can find a landing spot where his family is happy and he can help a contender with his veteran presence. Well, he's going to be waiting. He might be waiting for a while. People, I don't even believe his wife. I don't think his wife is not even an American. If you go to her Insta, she says made in Cameroon. So I don't know if she was born and raised there and just, moved here and, married, Thabo after that. But it's just amazing how these wives don't put their husbands first. Now, maybe there's not a lot of black people, even though she looks biracial. What's funny is that it could be the fact that there's not a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ain't a lot of places where it's a majority black people there. I'm sure there's black people in Utah, and that may bother her, even though she looks biracial. She looks like she fits right in Utah, It's amazing, man. It's amazing. If you're making sacrifices for your husband, then why are you trying to get him not to resign with Utah? And then she's trying to guilt him into not signing in Utah. Well, he's going to be waiting for a long time. He's going to lose money because you don't feel comfortable in Utah. You want to be in a New York or LA or Miami. You're going to have to keep waiting. But hopefully Thabo realized that he has another year to prove himself as a veteran. Now I know he may want to, or maybe he wants to go to a Golden State, but that's not happening because if they wanted you, they would have signed you. And if you're telling Utah that your wife don't want to be there, bro, they're gonna move on, and they will get young players to replace you. You only have a certain amount of time in sports to really make money, to really be a big deal. And you allowing your wife to control where you want to go. Now, if she's not comfortable, I get it. She's not comfortable. Okay? But you have to understand that it may hurt your opportunities to get signed. Make sure you go to teesprings.com/unofficialJDB merch to go and purchase my exclusive tees and hoodies.